I can't stand the rain against my window. I can't stand the rain.
Hey, I got a beautiful episode right now. I'm with the lovely Destany Epps. What's your last name now?
Manuel.
When did you get married?
I'm divorced,
You
so
are?
that doesn't even matter.
Are you on
Yeah.
divorce?
Yeah, I've been divorced 10 years.
10 years?
I was only married for 4.
So after you graduated from college, you got married?
I did,
And what college you went to? Because nobody know I went to high school with you.
Yes, we did go to high school together.
And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I never really had a relationship with Destany. I think I was like one of the worst ones in school. And God have a way to bring people back together to share their testimony.
That is very true.
And the story that I heard, my mother followed you, the story that I heard about you, I just wanted the world to understand, like, for a person like you with a beautiful soul, you are still smiling today.
Absolutely.
And so we'll get to, so you graduated from high school, graduated from college, got married,
Yeah.
had a child.
Well, I had my baby during college. I had him when I was 19. I had him my sophomore year of college. Yeah, so after I graduated, he was 2. And I was working for Denton ISD
Oh, you was?
in their sped department.
And then life went on and you got a divorce.
Yeah.
And so you had to raise a child by yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
How was
Well,
that?
I have help from my family, definitely. I have a great support system from my family, so I'm grateful for
What
that.
what do the name Epps mean to you?
Oh, powerful, strong, wise, resilient.
How was it growing up as the child of a pastor?
It was interesting. You know, people automatically assume, oh, pastors' kids are the worst ones
Right.
or whatever. So I tried not to keep on that persona. Of course, I was a teenager. I did what I did, but, you know, I wasn't bad out loud, if you will.
But it seemed like y'all go through the most tribulations.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
You know, and I remember back in the day, it really just didn't register to today when it was explained to me that you took care of a brother that was disabled.
Yeah, I have a brother who has a brain disorder. He's 2 years younger than me. And yeah, that's my baby.
And so as a child, you were almost like the second mother to this.
Yeah, I was helping out, babysitting. He had seizures. I was right there helping my parents out.
As a young age, you sit there and watch your brother have seizures?
Yeah, massive, what's called grand mal seizures.
What is that?
Those are like the biggest seizures where you lay out
And
and
shake?
eyes roll in the back of your head, they get locked, all of that, yeah.
And you was dealing with that at that age?
Yeah.
Was it scary?
It was, but I think, you know, because it had started happening so young, I was used to it and just knew how to handle it and take care of it.
You always been grown at a young age.
Grown is crazy.
I mean, that's just grown, but you always was mature.
Yeah.
And so while we laughing and having parties and joking and giggling, you going home to serious situations.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what more
You know, in my
about.
AP classes, my college classes, played volleyball, worked, but went home and had to take care of some business.
And so is your brother still here today?
Yeah, he is. I actually have a day rehabilitation center, a day program for adults with disabilities called My Destany Day Rehabilitation Center. And right now I have about 24 adults there every day. We do different life skills training. We take them on community outings, things like that. He attends there and goes home. He lives at home with my parents still.
And then so your younger brother, and that's what people was explaining to me, is an awesome football player.
Yeah, he actually got a full ride at Kansas State University. And
they say he was almost at the NFL. Why did he stop?
I was sick. He was worried.
So your brother,
He packed up and came home and played for UNT after his second year at K-State. They didn't know if I was going to make it.
what was your first scare that scared everyone around you?
Oh, when I was diagnosed, I mean, it was like literally I went to sleep and woke up with heart disease. It wasn't,
So you was perfectly fine.
yeah, I was fine. I was fine. It was I had just gotten married that June. This was October of 2010. And I was upstairs in my apartment after work and everything, and it felt like I had run a marathon, and I couldn't catch my breath. So my ex-husband, we were married then, he worked third shift, so he got home about 1 a.m. or something. So when he got home, he took me to the emergency room. They told me my lungs were inflamed and sent me home. I was misdiagnosed, but the next morning I didn't sleep all night. Actually, my cousin was Jeremy. He was deployed at the time, so I was up talking to him on Facebook on Facebook, instant messaging him or whatever. The next day I went to a different hospital in Denton, and that's when they told me I was in acute heart failure. Caught me off guard. And so they admitted me. Oh no, they didn't admit me. They put what's called a LASIK strip on me, an IV, and fluid just started coming off, and it was like I could breathe again. So I had to go to a cardiologist the next day, make sure I didn't have any blockage. I didn't. I was diagnosed with what's called idiopathic dilated cardiomyopathy, which is just a fancy way to say the left side of my heart was enlarged. It wasn't pumping very well, and they didn't know why.
So they never caught this earlier in your volleyball or nothing?
No, I didn't have it then. It just sporadically happened. A lot of African American women who develop this disease get it from pregnancy, but postpartum, if you get it what's called postpartum cardiomyopathy, which is the same disease, just a different cause, it has to be within 6 to 8 months after your child is born. My baby was 2.5, so it wasn't postpartum because I wasn't symptomatic before that. It was idiopathic, like it was just unknown. You can also get it from like a virus attacking your heart, but I hadn't been sick. So it was literally just what I call my thorn that came in my flesh suddenly.
And so after they diagnosed you, what was next?
Oh God. I tried to stay in Denton. They ramped up on my medications very quickly. I was on some very high dosages of medicine, so high the pharmacist would even call and ask, is this dose right? Because they had never seen dosages that high, because the doctors were trying to get my heart to reverse. It got worse instead of better. I had to get a defibrillator and pacemaker implanted that January afterwards. And then I was in the hospital several times that year. And that following December 2011, I had my first open heart surgery. I had what's called a left ventricular assist device implanted, which is just like an artificial heart piece.
Have you ever had surgery before that?
No. Well, other than the defibrillator and pacemaker.
Yeah,
No.
but this situation with your heart, and now you have all these surgeries.
Yeah, I went from just taking allergy medicine to taking 22 medicines every day, like literally overnight.
So what happened after the heart surgery?
I did pretty good on it. Still in and out the hospital some, but not as much. I had the batteries that I carried around every day. They were 10 pounds. I did pretty good on it. And then in 2013, September, I developed a blood clot. And so in my outflow cannula, which is part of the pump. So I was admitted and put on a blood thinner, on a heparin drip. And then I had a stroke while I was in the hospital. So they had to emergently do a second open heart surgery November 22nd and put another LVAD in. I couldn't wait for a heart. After that, I went into right side heart failure. So I had to get relisted for heart. And I ended up getting one December 2014.
That's your first heart?
That's my first heart transplant. I've had 2.
So you went through 3 surgeries, then got a heart implant.
I got my first heart transplant, yep.
And so throughout this, who paying the bills at your house?
Well, I actually, after my divorce, I kept my house and leased it
So your
out.
husband left you while you was going through all this?
Our divorce was final 2 weeks to the day before my first heart. 2 weeks before my first heart transplant.
So he never stayed around through all this? Like, when you going through all this, he was never there?
No, we lived together. We were still together at the time.
So
it was just,
what make y'all
it
go-
was a disconnect. It was a big disconnect. We had been together since we were 16, and we had planned this life. And at 22, you're diagnosed with heart disease. It's hard to stay connected to anybody like that. I struggled with myself. And he just became very disconnected.
Did you get close to God?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't have anybody else to get close to.
He ran from the situation. Did you feel like that?
I didn't. My son does, but I didn't because I truly can empathize with you walking in and thinking that your best friend is getting ready to be dead. or not knowing what to expect every day you walk home.
And not
you
to
come
mention,
home.
you still raising a kid through all
Yes,
this.
yes, I still have my baby.
So
And I'm very involved at the school. I'm working full time at the time as well.
are you working full time with the pacemakers with the big 10
Yeah,
pound
I just
batteries?
stopped working full time 2 years ago.
And what was he doing?
He was working full time too.
Oh, so y'all was really
We had bought our first house. I mean, yeah,
at 22?
yeah,
Oh, that's a blessing.
yeah.
And so you get your first heart and you get a divorce. What happened next?
I did well with the first start for the most part. I went into rejection, had to go through some chemo treatments and some other things to help bring me out of
Chemo is for
It's for cancer,
Right.
but it also helps with rejection when
Right.
your heart is rejecting, your body's rejecting the heart, the
Right.
organ. And I went through some other treatments to help with the rejection, but as time went on, I did pretty good on it. Like I said, I was able to travel and do whatever I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had a brain bleed.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. I wasn't on blood thinners or anything. I just had a sporadic left cerebral hematoma, which is a brain bleed on the left side. A vessel just
So it
leaked.
from the heart or from the medication?
No, they don't know. I mean, I wasn't, normally that happens because of a blood thinner. I wasn't on blood thinner, so they honestly have no idea why it happened or how.
So
I had
everything you
I
have
had
been
brain
through
surgery.
is no.
There's no
cause.
cause. There's no reasoning behind it.
Did you smoke?
No, never
Never-
smoked.
Never drank. I mean, never did any kind of drugs.
No.
You had to be on. Was you an X pills back in the day?
No, nut.
I wanted them to hear that.
No.
I wanted them to hear that. And so I'll let you just come in, and now you got to.
No weed, no nothing.
I didn't want to ask you about weed. So you never smoked weed or anything?
Nothing.
So now we got the brain bleed.
Yeah.
And so how did you figure out that?
Well, because I became completely paralyzed on my right side. I couldn't
Out of
even
nowhere?
move it. Well, it was like I had a real bad headache, and as I was walking around, I just lost all functionality on my right side. I tried to pick up something, and it just fell out my hand.
So are you nervous at the time? Like, what's going on?
I was out of my mind, so I couldn't
yeah.
really understand or comprehend what
Right.
was going on.
And where was you at this time?
I was at home at that time. Well, I had moved back in with my parents.
Okay.
So I was at my parents' house. My aunt was there with me. And they rushed me to Baylor. My parents did. And a few days later, I had emergency brain surgery. The doctor told me, he said, either we can do this brain surgery or not, and you'll have a 50-50 chance of living.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a plate and like 25 screws in my head on the left side right now from the brain bleed that I had. But I was able to fully move again before I left the hospital within 6 days.
And then, how long did it take to the next girl?
It was just like every time I went to the doctor, something was wrong. Like I almost started kind of dreading going. You know what I'm saying? And I want people to understand, like during all of this, I'm not just like all happy-go-lucky. Like I had moments where I told my parents and, told my counselor, my therapist I was seeing that I was tired. I was done. I'm done fighting. I'm tired. But then I looked at that little boy, and I had to be here.
So you wasn't scared of death at all?
No.
You was almost ready?
At that time I was. Now I'm not.
Yeah.
But at that time, it was times I was like, okay, I'm sick of
And
it.
this at the age of 22, 24, 25?
No, I was probably, it was in 2022. So how old am I now? No, it wasn't 2022. I'm sorry, it was 2018 I had the brain bleed.
Oh, so it went from 14 into
18.
So it's 4 years, and then you back with a brain bleed.
Yeah, but I was in and out the hospital the whole time throughout that time. Retaining fluid, just different stuff, heart failure stuff, rejection stuff, just.
Oh, you went to chemo too.
Yeah, but I only did that for a couple of months. But it was just a lot of different treatments and stuff that I had to keep doing because of the rejection I was in.
What
So in
happened next?
2018, I had the brain bleed. I'm good now. Then I went into kidney failure in
Out of
2000.
nowhere?
Well, the anti-rejection medicines can cause, that's one of the possible side effects, kidney failure. And so that was a side effect that I experienced. And I went into kidney failure. They were able to kind of manage it at stage 3 for a while. But then in 2020, I kind of crashed and I had to get rushed to the hospital and get on dialysis.
At one point, did you question God?
Yes, absolutely.
Because some people don't want. Some people would be afraid to even mention that. But the things you going through, and it's every time you go, it's something, it's something, it's something, it's something.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't understand because, I try to do right by people. I try to love people. I try to give, I try to support. I tell people about Christ, and it's like, okay, why is this continuing? Why am I getting worse instead of better? And then you look at other people, even though, some people's lives are on display and it's fake, but it just looks like they're not going through anything, whereas I'm suffering in my body daily.
Have you ever sit there and looked at someone and you know they don't have as much faith as Christ as you do, but it's like their life is perfect? And you have a person like you who go to church every Sunday, who thank God, who have faith, and you just continuously going through something.
My pastor always says that, the thing is, like, when you accept Christ, you're walking against the devil. So eventually y'all gonna meet up. Eventually he gonna try to attack you. If you walking alongside of him, everything gonna be okay. So that I always kept that in my mind. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, one of my favorite stories in the Bible is when Paul talked about the thorn in his flesh.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what that thorn is. It can be bankruptcy or high blood pressure or heart disease. And he pleaded to God 3 times to remove it. And at the end of the day, God said, my grace is sufficient. My grace is all you need. And so that got me through a lot of my tough times, just thinking about, okay, his grace is enough.
But the things you went through are almost worse than prison.
I don't know, sometimes, because I was confined to the hospital a lot.
Yes, and the hospital, I don't know if people understand, you got people coming there giving you shots, and you don't know if you're going to make it, and people praying over you constantly. And I mean, like some people don't leave them beds.
That is very true. And there was a lot of times I didn't leave the bed. Like when I went back into heart failure after my transplant, I couldn't, I was sick. I was on what's called a dobutamine drip for about 1.5 years.
And was you in a coma?
I've gone into medically induced comas.
Have you ever had the dreams?
I've had sepsis. I've had all of that.
Have you ever had the dreams I was sharing about, people saying you can hear people who can't?
Actually, one time I have a couple of aunts that have passed away, and they told me I was asleep, I guess, and they were like, no, it's not time for you. Go back. Go back. It's not time. So that's the only kind of dream I've had like that.
And so after these incidents, was you able to run or exercise, anything like that?
Yeah, well, I am now. I go to the gym and walk uphill on the treadmill every day. I won't say every day. I was going every day. Now I go like probably 4 times a week. But I lift some light weights. I can't lift more than 5 pounds on each arm. But I'm really building back up to what I would like to do. I'm actually going to the Transplant games next year. And Olympic gold medalist Michelle Carter is going to train me. I'm throwing shot put and discus.
Oh, for real? So after the brain surgery in the plates, what happened next?
I went into kidney failure, and in 2022, I got December 18, 2022, which, crazy enough, I got my first heart December 18, 2014. So it was the same day, just different years. I got a kidney transplant.
Oh, a complete kidney transplant. Do you know, have you ever met the people do you know about the people that gave you the organ?
So they're protected by HIPAA, and you can write them after 1 year of having the transplant. I've written both families from my first heart and my kidney, and they've never written back. Sometimes people just want to close that chapter. Just know their loved ones saved lives and close that chapter. It's hard because you do want to be able to thank that family, but you have to understand where they're coming from as well.
How is it going to the hospital knowing you finna get a surgery that you might not make it out of?
I don't ever think I'm not going to make it out of it.
Right.
That's never been my mindset.
You've never been scared that?
No.
So throughout all these major surgeries and major things at the hospital, you never ever thought that this might be my last ride?
No, I've thought that more at home than I have going through surgery.
Right.
Yeah. No, I've never, they said, my doctor told me when I needed my first LVAD, Destany, you gotta have this LVAD or you're gonna die. I said, okay, let's do it. I'm the type, I wanna do it and we'll deal with the consequences later. But I gotta do what I can now to fight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So have you during these times, have you and your son ever talked about that?
Oh, I talked to him about everything. I'm very transparent. He's had to, when he was a little boy, he had to start calling 911 for me when it was just he and I at the house because I was sick and nobody was there but me and him. He called the hospital.
So you mean to tell me he went through the same things you went through with your brother?
Yeah. That's crazy. I never thought about that. That's crazy. Yes, he did.
And what his dad? While you going through all this, he never called again.
About the first year he called or two, but
I'm saying so after after the kidneys. I mean the kidneys and
oh
nothing.
no, I don't.
You never talked to his family or anything.
This gonna be on TV.
No, it ain't.
No, it's real. No, I mean, one of his aunts would call and check on Desmond periodically, but
But not you.
yeah, they would check on me
Oh.
while they were checking on Desmond, but
Right.
they don't. I mean, it's nothing consistent. We haven't talked to that side of his family in probably a couple of years, and they live in Highland Hills.
So you basically neglected. And I'm not, no, not just by him, but in my mind, I would feel like it's like a Tyler Perry movie. A person that did right, you came out the womb, and the average person would think they are cursed because you got to deal with, your older brother, seeing stuff like that, perfect life, marriage, kid, then heart, then failure, then kidneys, then brain surgeries, then divorce, and
Yeah, I got you.
and so it's like,
But you know what? What's crazy is I've talked to my parents about this before. I don't. So many people have been brought to Christ through my illness. It's crazy. I'm talking about from medical professionals to I'm a patient advocate at Baylor. I go talk to patients there to patients that I just go talk to on GP about heart disease and kidney disease. So many people have come to know Christ through my illness.
but why do, and I'm not just saying this for me. I'm speaking for a lot of people.
Right.
It's like, why do God put His people through that and let the people who's, like, and I'm just be honest with you. I don't have as near as much faith as you.
You haven't needed to yet. You're going to.
I have before, but like I still like if in the shoes that you've been in, I would have gave up. And the average person would have gave up. We think we go through so much in life,
Yeah.
and it's really nothing compared to what you've been through.
But you know what? And then I look at my life the same way.
Why?
Because there are so many people who have gone through not even half the stuff I've gone through, who are not even, like you said, mobile anymore, who are
Right.
living in nursing homes, who are younger than me, and who are dead. There are so many patients that I've talked to that are no longer here,
Right.
who didn't go through a fourth of the stuff that I've been through.
Right.
So I'm still grateful because
Was it all worth
he,
it?
oh yeah. Yeah. If one person's life is saved and they can have eternal life, to
Yeah,
me, it's
yeah.
worth it.
Right.
And that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
So would you trade all this? Would you trade everything you went through in life and nobody got saved, or would you rather go through what you're going through and to save other people's
No,
life?
I want people to spend eternal life in heaven. I don't mind. If my suffering allows people to live eternally, I take pleasure in suffering.
That's the same thing the Bible said
That
Jesus
is
taught.
that is what the Bible says.
Right.
I take pleasure in that.
So what happened next?
It's crazy, right?
What happened
So I
next?
went back into heart failure in 2023, December. Suddenly, after football season, I started feeling kind of bad during football season. I was like, oh, nah, we made it 4 rounds deep. I am not going to after the state game.
Right.
So I went to the state game with my baby and 4 of his friends. And literally the next day I went to the emergency room. I crashed. My blood pressure got all the way down to like 42/20. My doctors walked in and told my parents they couldn't do anything else. They didn't think I was gonna make it.
In 2023.
23. Mm-hmm.
And what football games y'all went to?
It was the state game. It was after the state game.
Cedar Hill, Duncanville?
We stayed all day. So we watched all the.
I used to do that too.
Yeah, we stayed and watched all the teams.
all
We
the
got out the
games.
4th round against DeSoto that year.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
baby was on varsity though, so
Right,
of course we
right,
went.
right.
So they put me on a medicine called dobutamine, and I lived on that drip for almost a year.
In the hospital?
They put me on it in the hospital, but I was able to go home with it. I was in the hospital for about 3 weeks.
And they told you there's nothing else they can do?
But after my body responded to the dobutamine, they said, you need another heart, and we can't do it. You've had 3 open heart surgeries, kidney surgeries. I was what's called very sensitized, which means I had a lot of antibodies. So the more antibodies and the rarer your antibodies are, the harder it is to find a match for your organ. The more surgeries you have, the more scar tissue you develop, the harder it is for a surgeon to get in there. So my doctor is amazing. She's the director of our program at Baylor. Her name is Shelley Hall. She said, I want you to go to Cedars-Sinai in California. They have the protocols, or they have they have the medicine to give you to help bring down your antibodies.
But when they told you there's nothing else they could do, what was going through your mind?
I said, no, y'all gonna transplant me. That's what I kept telling them. I said, no, y'all gonna take me to the selection committee, because they have to vote on it. It's a team of doctors. Take me to the selection committee. Y'all gonna vote. Y'all gonna keep me.
Right.
And when she came back, she was like, if you were my daughter, no, we can't. We don't have the equipment. We're not, we don't know.
And what was you thinking at that time?
When she told me I could go to California, I said, okay, when we leave.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go and be back for football season. That didn't happen.
So you still thinking about your son?
Yes. I have to, like I tell people all the time, I fight for him.
Right.
Everybody else, they'll be all right. My parents will be all right. My brothers will be all right. My baby, no, I gotta fight for him. He was 16 at the time, a junior in high school. So August 4th last year, my mom and I packed up and moved to California.
For how long?
We ended up staying until almost February, the end of January. And then I got my heart October 25th last year.
Hold on, so y'all left in August.
Because I was really sick.
And you stayed a whole year and got your heart.
Well, not a whole year, just till February.
Up to February. And so
we got there in August. I got admitted the next day after we got there for 3 weeks. They discharged me. We stayed up the street from the hospital.
Right.
And then I got readmitted, and I was there for like probably 8 weeks until I got my heart October 25th.
So you never knew where your heart was coming from? Mm-mm. And did you ever think that you would even get a heart?
Yeah.
With any doubt, people that had doubts around you?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't allow people to speak negativity in my life.
Destany, you had to think at one point in time that this is it.
No.
You had went through a new kidney, a new heart before.
When I went to California, I knew I was coming back home to be with my kid. I knew that God would not have sent me up there. Initially, I was thinking in my head, of course, before I went, I was like, okay, I'm going up here because the Lord wants me to die in California. He don't want my baby to have to drive by Baylor every day and be like, oh, my mama died there. So I'm going to California to die. And then once I got there, my mind completely shifted. I was like, oh, these doctors, yeah. I'm going to be all right.
Are they completely different from the doctors in Dallas?
No, they're amazing, just like my doctors in Dallas. My doctors in Dallas are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very smart. But they just have more resources at Cedars. And the director of the program, John Kabashagawa, is amazing. And he came in there and saw me when I first went to the ER, and he said, I'm going to get you a heart. After he said that, I was not afraid at all. I was never afraid to go back through the surgery again.
At all?
It was my 4th open heart surgery. I wasn't afraid of that. So I was turning them open.
So was your family here? I mean,
my dad would fly back and forth. My son was here until Thanksgiving. He came up and saw me Thanksgiving. But we FaceTimed every day. I mean, it was football season, and he was in college classes. He couldn't. He'll have his associate's degree in May.
Right.
So he couldn't leave. But my mom was there with me the whole time.
And you missed the whole entire football season?
What? That was the hardest. But I did make it back for track season, and he did go to state. So I'm okay with that.
So the whole so you get your new heart.
I got my heart.
Have it been any scare since?
No.
Nothing. Anything?
No, this heart is great. This is great. I mean, I did, let's be clear, I did have to do some treatments. So I went back, after we came back at the end of January, I had to fly back February, March, April, then June, and then I have to go back, I'm going back Wednesday. So I have to go back for appointments and stuff. And they did a biopsy and they punctured my artery the last time I went in June, which was, not ideal, not good. So I had to have emergency surgery then for them to repair my artery. I actually just got the tubes and everything off of me last week for the IV antibiotics and everything I had to do for the infection. But no, not as far as the heart goes. The heart is great. No rejection or anything.
Could you get another heart if you needed it?
You know what's crazy you asked that?
Wow.
The surgeon told me if I needed another heart to come back and see him. He said, you take care of your organs and I'll see what I can do. We're going to make sure that you're here for your baby. So that's all I know. If I need another heart, that's where I'm going back.
Have you lost any? Have you lost any? Have anybody ever doubted?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But that's why you can't let that negativity in your spirit. You know, literally when people pray over me, I pray that the prayers that are not for me are blocked in the
Right.
name of Jesus. I don't, you know, because people gonna be like, oh, I'm praying for you, or they'll try to touch you and pray over you. You have to be careful. And I pray against those demonic prayers. But yeah, people thought I was gonna die a long time ago.
And I know, like, even the congregation, like, I know you have a powerful army behind you.
I do. I do. Let me tell you about community.
Yeah.
That I love my church.
Y'all
I
don't,
love my church.
yeah, I grew up in Reverend Denny Davis' house.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Dwight was my friend.
yeah.
And even
St. John was
yeah,
praying
St.
for
John,
me.
yeah.
Antioch praying for.
Yeah.
Like we had every church around here has been praying, and I'm so grateful for that. My friends, family, our church families. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful because
Right.
those prayers have really carried me and kept me strong.
Because your stories are remarkable because like I said, I know people who do not take life serious.
I tell my son that all the time. Like I said, he's 17. And I said, the problem with a lot of people, they don't understand that the finality of death. You can go out there, you can kill somebody, you can do whatever. They're not coming back. You can't just do whatever you want to do in the heat of the moment because you're angry or pissed off or because you feel like somebody disrespected you and think there are no consequences and think that you can be redeemed from that for their
Right.
life. Now,
Right.
God will redeem you,
Right.
but you know, people have to be so careful with the choices they make.
Right.
And we're in such a careless society now, you know, just as a whole.
Do you ever look at someone and say, girl, you just don't understand?
No, because like I tell people all the time, and like we were kind of talking before camera started, everybody's thorn is different. So just cause if I say you don't understand my story about my heart and my kidney, I may not understand how it is to live with diabetes. I may not understand how it is to live without a brother who got murdered in front of you or a parent who's dead. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Everybody's thorn is different. You can't compare my thorn to your thorn. You just have to learn how to embrace it and to understand the strength of God through that and know that he carries you through whatever you go through and his grace is enough.
See, and I'm kind of understanding though, because a person who didn't have the foundation like you have built inside you wouldn't be able to change lives and tell your testimony and smile.
Yeah,
And
got
smile
to.
and you know, you go through stuff that people grannies go through.
No, for real. I go to the doctor and it's a room full of old people.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, I'm the youngest one
You was
again.
in dialysis, and I remember my
Yeah.
grandpa was in there 76, 73, 8
Yeah.
years old, and
My chair mates when they
yes,
70s. Yeah.
yes. So, I mean, for you to just keep on smiling and full of joy.
I'm, I'm grateful.
I have watched people cry and be saddened from situations they put themselves into. Your situation, you didn't put yourself in anything. For somebody who never smoked, never drank, never did this, never did this, never did this, and we live in a sinful life, and people I have been around, and we put stuff in our bodies, and you never did any of that, and all this stuff had been
I
wrong
have
with you.
family members like that. I have family members who are out there doing what they do, and ain't nothing wrong with them. Nothing,
Right.
you
So
know.
you have never questioned that? Why me, God?
Not in that sense, no.
I'm saying, but just not them.
I've
Just
asked God why, like why do I have to keep suffering, but why me and not them? No, never. No, because nobody deserves to wake up in pain every day and
You
go to
still waking
sleep.
up in pain?
I'm in pain right now. Yes.
Yeah, that's and you're not even 40.
I am not 40.
I know.
I'll be
I know.
37 this week, though.
I know. I'm saying, but you're not even 40,
I
and for
know.
you to even deal with that, like I'm scared of shots.
Bruh.
I'm scared of,
That's crazy.
and I done been shot before,
But you scared of needles.
and I'm scared of needles. And, I have, growing up and outside of school, I have never owned a laptop in my life. I barely passed my tests by cheating and this and that, but I went to jail, prison, and I prayed for a year straight. Because I grew up in the church, but I never had to accept God for my own.
That's it.
God made me a multi-millionaire. I never owned a laptop. I barely can read contracts. And I be asking God, what's my purpose?
Yeah.
And I went through all this with an artist that passed.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact sometimes the devil will give you the tools to destroy yourself.
Yes. That's good.
I
That's
seen it
good.
happen. He will give you the tools to destroy yourself. And it just touches my heart that you never even had the tools to destroy yourself, and you still had to go through the things people are not even can dream of. I can't even dream that. My mom can't even dream that.
It's crazy because when I like go back and read my journals, or I actually like say everything I've been through out loud, I'm honestly amazed. It's like, girl, do you hear what you say? I told my son the other day, I said, I'm gonna start laying up in the bed and ringing the bell because I ought to be laid up somewhere. I
Right.
shouldn't still be running around, booster club and team, mom and going to Sam's, buying snacks, having a day
Oh, you
half
do
full
all
of
that?
adults with disabilities. Yeah.
Oh, because you got the facility with the
Yeah.
so you still taking care of people that your condition is really worse than theirs.
Again, I don't compare situations.
I know. I'm saying, but like health wise, some of them people is very healthy.
Right. They just have cognitive delays.
Right.
Yeah.
And you still helping.
Yeah.
When do it stop?
It doesn't. That's just who I am. That's how I'm built. I can't change who God created me to be. I'm just a natural nurturer and a natural giver, and I'm grateful that He gives me the strength to still do it. Because then my life would be wouldn't have purpose. Yeah.
Have you ever wanted love again?
Yeah. It took me a while.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Was you hurt?
I was crushed.
Man, it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful
I appreciate
story.
you.
I appreciate you because I went to church Sunday, and I just asked God for this interview because I know that it's a lot of people out there that think their life is just in shambles and they going through this and going through that, going through this. But it's a reminder that it gets deeper.
Yeah.
It gets deeper. And so, I be waking up, something like acting like I got a headache, or, I always made it seem like this, I pretend that I was sick sometimes. Not pretend, just as worse than what it really was.
Yeah, I understand.
And man, I believe God put you on this earth for a reason. And I would never thought that growing 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, seeing you in the hallways where this kid Destany is really almost like a disciple. Because you're accepting what God is putting you through to help others
Yeah.
get through their lives.
That's awesome.
Y'all follow Destany. And what church, and how can they reach you?
Reach me.
Yeah, it was your Instagram.
Oh, yeah, 2hearts_1 Destiny. I think that's what it is.
And what's the church?
Oh, wait. Sorry. Community Missionary Baptist Church
Hey.
in DeSoto and Cedar Hill.
And y'all follow Destiny. Y'all see Destiny, give her a hug, and y'all keep rooting for her son to be something great in life. We gone.